I'm doing an oil painting demo of of Wildflowers. These are up in the high country. So I was going to show you how I would tone a blank canvas to use some of this color harmony that we'll be using throughout this painting. Because I've got a lot of greens, mostly in this painting, with a little bit of violets, I want to tone the canvas with something that relates to the violet tone. So I'm going to mix myself up a bit of a purple color. This is my standard palette. I use it for most indoor work and outdoor work. And I'll just walk through the different colors. Beginning here, closest to me is Viridian, Cobalt Blue, Ultramarine Blue. Now I have a bit of black here, which I don't use very often, but occasionally just a spot of black in the landscape is a nice touch. If I add a little warm color to it, it adds a nice little warmth to the shadow areas. So next to the black is alizarin crimson, burnt sienna, and next to burnt sienna I have cad red medium, yellow ochre, and next to that a cad yellow dark. Next to that is a little bit of a cad yellow light, and then a little lemon yellow next to that, and then of course white. I'm working on a glass palette here. Makes it easy to mix the paint and scrape up the paint when in between the painting sessions. So I'm just using a little round brush. This is size 18, and I wanted to show you the importance of blocking in the board, laying in a tone that essentially will be affecting every color that goes on afterwards. So I'm mixing myself up sort of a lively purple. So what I'm done here is I've added a bit of ultramarine blue, which has got a touch of red, and alizarin crimson, which has got a touch of blue. So the two together create this sort of really nice reddish purple. I've used a lot of terpenoid here to keep it thin. This is a great opportunity for you to sort of kind of loosen up your arm, stand at arm's length, let the brush fly, just really have fun with the movement of the brush. It's a great way to kind of experiment with different directions that the brush takes, and you're not too worried about any accurate drawing. You're just trying to get this covered, and by moving this around too, you're developing a really nice textural quality that may pop through in the final painting. This is a lot of fun at this stage, just having fun moving paint around. I think I want to slightly blue it too, so let's mix a little blue tone in there. Nice, that cool violet tone will be a nice complement to the colors that are going to go on top. This is one of the parts of the painting process that I think is sometimes overlooked. The working with a toned canvas can really have a big impact on the quality of the work. I do a lot of work in pastel, and the paper tone definitely is the biggest thing that impacts the quality of the pastel. And with oil, for sure, this is part of it as well. So kind of think about what your final color combination will be, and the tone definitely has a major impact on the outcome. Okay, I feel much better about that tone, so let's let that dry you'll need to let it dry for a few minutes. Typically in the studio, I would allow maybe 20 minutes, depending on the surface you're working on, maybe a little more, a little less. Let the turpentine dissipate. So I was going to show you this idea of what I like to call, it's a negative painting. So I have this sort of tone laid out. I'm going to dip this paper towel into the turpentine. And what I want to do is I want to go and pull out the light. So now I'm looking at my sketch that I did and a little bit at the photo. And I'm just going to pull out the light shapes. And I'm not worried about, pulling too much out. I just want to look again at the general lightness or darkness of things. So I'm using a wet paper towel, and I'm just looking at my black and white, and I'm trying to emulate some of those shapes that I've already considered in the painting and just state them. This is an effective way to kind of get away from literal thinking, just to think in terms of dark and light. You could consider that we're still somewhat in a design state. And it's just a general blocking at this point. It's very fluid. It can be erased. I can start it over. We want to have fun with the shapes at this point. It should be a very free state of mind with this point in the painting. So here's this light shape that we talked about, the nice light foreground. Kind of have a general idea there of where I'm going. Now, using this stage here, you can kind of now start to see a ghost, almost a ghost-like image of the general shapes coming through, right? It's very subtle. It's a very subtle roadmap. Nothing is set in stone. It can be moved still. I really enjoy this stage of the painting because I don't have to think overly concretely at this point. I'm thinking in generalities, in abstractions of thought. And with each step, I'm gaining further and further confidence in where the painting will go. Okay, as I step back, I'm just the main question I'm asking is, what is the arrangements of these shapes? How about the shapes coming in, the movement coming in? Is there a nice variety? If I'm feeling that, then I feel confident that it's okay to start in on the painting.